Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 25th of September. Now there is a bit of background noise occurring, so I've decided it's better to make the video and have the noise rather than not have the video at all. So yeah, so this this move up through here, it can be counted in different ways, as you probably know, and seen other Elliott counts and so on and so on. So typically it can be in line with the other markers as an A and a B and a C as wave 4 here, and looking at being completed here, and then looking for wave 5 to the upside. So that's the way that we're looking at this today. Okay, it is possible to have this wave 1 sitting over here and then having a deeper wave 2 come into play. Whoops, Daisy. Come into play here. So that means that we would see this rise a little bit up here and then drop again from this point for this one. We'll see. We're waiting for confirmation on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq as well, and so on. So and gold as well on this current low here. So we just need to gather the evidence as the market moves to the upside. So carrying on from where we've been speaking over the week, we were looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here that's completed. So from this point, we're looking for a move to the upside here. Now, like I said, if this top here is not wave 3 and it's actually a wave 1, then we'll have to look at this move here as something a bit different to the downside. So we'll see more downside. But as long as that 12,500 for 12,000 should be on 500. That's better. That's my level. So yeah, looking at 5 waves coming down here that we'd been counting, and that's all come in reasonably well as such. Gold's the same as well. I mean, yeah, and some other markets as well. So the question is do we push up from here? So I guess what we could do is we could say, well, if Friday in Asia looks strong, so have a look at the Asian markets, the ASX and the Nikkei and so on, and if they're positive, then this is also going to be positive as well. It does appear that if I can just use one of these, it does. The good news is that it does appear that we've got wave 1 here at that point, so we can go we can go long above that. Well, it's already been triggered there. Just what have I got on the 15-minute chart here? Okay, this is a little bit better. So we've got our all coming in down through here. I don't need these anymore over there, so I'll just bring them with me. And just for the purposes of it, I'll just use this wave 1 here and 2 here, and that will give us 3, 4, 5. Now I'm not sure if this is going to happen or not, but what we need to do is put the stop here, copy that, make that green, and we're good to go. So let's just have a look at this. So it does appear we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So, and then an A and a B and a C here. So that's good news. So many buttons to click. So I'm assuming this is wave 1 and 2 here of the next degree, you know. But we'll keep the stop just under here for the time being. You could put it there if it makes a big difference to you. But we also need to look to go long as well. So I'm just thinking, can this be anything else? It does appear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it does appear we've got an impulse wave here. So we should actually see a strong move up from this point. I mean, it can be an A and a B and a C wave here, down for 1 and back for 2, and then moving down here, of course, as well. So that's why we'll take out this top here, okay? We're in group 2 here as well. So the market's trying to find support at the beginning of group 1 in it's 12,650 here, the 650 mark, and then the 72 here, the 720, the 700 is important as well, of course, and the 8 here. So I think that what we could do is just continue to get a few positions on these levels here as they become the support, if they become the support. So in a nutshell, we're calling in the low here as the low, but I can't confirm that. All I've got so far is a small impulse wave to the upside. I would need to see a decent impulse wave to the upside here. So we just really got to wait and see at this point. Just thinking of other things here. This high to this low here. This will reach our first barrier to the upside, of course, and we can see that playing out of that 50-60% retracement level. So that's another good thing too. You know, I mean, if this high is breached, because it tested it here and then it's tested it here right on the 61.8%, 62%. So if it breaches through that again on the third time, well, then we know that we're probably to the upside here. And if it breaches that, then you can move the stop to that point. And try to build in, you know, a few trades in here. You know, always good to start small, and then once you've got that risk, you know, halved or 2/3 or broken even or something, you know, like always just stay with the same amount of risk per trade, and just keep building into that point. But you really need to know where to keep the stops. So all I can say to you, it's a little bit tricky about that, but all I can say to you is once one level becomes the tested support, then you can bring the stop up near that, you know, and to the next one. And then you also got to be mindful that, like if we hit 13,000, which is a large level, well, then that could come back to the support at the 800 here in that case, you know. So these are the things that you need to be mindful of, you know, what type of reaction. That's why it's good, you know, it's difficult to take the money at a level when you get there, because you think that it's going up forever at that point. But I say to you that if it, you know, it's likely to have a correction, and then it's going to have support, so you can just move back in on things. It's not a big deal, and it's good practice. And if you don't overtrade, if you use smaller the amount that you should be using, if not smaller, then you know, you can just practice and not get too emotionally involved in it. Okay, and anyway, enough waffling on there. So that's the DAX. Let's just go back to the 4-hour chart and look at this. So what I'm suggesting is that we've got an A and a B and a C wave. It's finished and we can move all the way up. Now there's a couple of things here. If this was actually going to fail, if I take this top here, because we've got 5 waves in here, that means we would have to look at this as, we could look at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and wave 3 here. That would leave wave 4 coming back to the 38.2% retracement level. So 12,792 area there. So that's close enough to the 2.8 here. So that's where the market can fail at that point, right? That's one thing there. So it can just go to here and fail and have another leg down. That would give us 5 waves down from here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. The second thing is the 61.8% is also on the 13,000. So we're definitely going to get a corrective move from this point here. I would imagine it's just corrective and we'll head up again from that point. But knowing that's a 61.8% gives us the knowledge that it's highly likely to have a decent sell-off at that particular point in time. So we're in this high risk sort of little area here. So buying on the lows, but it's basically what we're supposed to be doing, you know, as traders. And we do have a little impulse wave up here. So the idea is just to build in the trades through this space here, and we'll just keep an eye on it. And if If the DAX god is smiling on us, well then we will just continue to make new highs above wave 3 here, and that means that we'll have some positions in here and we'll take some profit at these levels. The 800 is going to be hard to get through anyway, right? So expect that to play out there, but hang in there with that one as well. Okay, let's have a look at the FTSE. So pretty much the same with the FTSE really. This is just the hourly chart here in the bigger picture here. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We've been looking at it like this here. So we've been looking at it from wave B here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We haven't made a new low here. So that bothers me a little bit on this one. But the FTSE could be dragged around a little bit. So, and it's on a really nice level too, the number 8 here. So we'll see if this moves up from this particular point, coming back to the hourly chart and just really looking at this. That's the wave 4 here, looking at this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. Unfortunately, we got stopped out. The wave 4 rallied really high, but it didn't overlap this wave 1 here either. So, and it does count nicely as an A and a B and a C wave here. We went through this in Australia as well, so it was a bit of a hassle. But it looks like this has landed down here at this point. So we could do what we did with the DAX. We could move that down to go long above that high here. That's not such a bad thing, because when a market comes down to a large number like this, then you'll get your first bounce, come back down, then you get your second bounce, and so on like this. They're all lower highs here until it just drops straight through in a way, right? So if we come along here and we get, you know, this second one here comes up, takes this high out here, well then there's a change in attitude at that particular point. So that's what we'd be looking for at this point. I'd rather go long in the DAX than here. I'd rather sort of short this stock. So what we'll do here is we'll just reduce this position size to half a position size at this particular point, and the stop needs to go. We'll just keep it under the level here for the time being. We'll just leave it at that. So this is more of a bit of a gamble, this one here, so just be a bit careful about that. Yeah, alrighty, I'm just going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. But do check out the S&P video and the NASDAQ. You know, the NASDAQ finding support on 11,000 is kind of a critical point for us at this point, you know, to establish a further trend to the upside. And what Friday does, Monday's likely to do the same. So if we're bullish today on Friday, then that can follow through into the Monday as well, with a bit of profit taking on Tuesday. But anyway, let's see how we go. Keep an eye on the Asian session, see how that closes, if that's up or down, because there's a strong relationship between the FTSE and the Australian market. Okay, cheers.